Hi, today we're going to learn how to use VPN to stay secure and private online. Wow, this is a tough job. Just kidding. When you use NordVPN, all it takes is just a single click. See for yourself. Click, and you're browsing securely on public Wi-Fi. Click, your ISP can't see what you do online. Click, and you're in a different country. Well, virtually. Any device you have there, NordVPN has you covered. Everything else is just details. But if you care to know more, NordVPN has more than 5,000 servers all over the world. It protects your sensitive data with advanced encryption, shields you from malware and phishing sites, and keeps no logs of your online activity.
Click link in the description and get 68% discount for your first order. Hanging quilts on the wall. Hang your quilts on wall hooks for an eye-catching display. Measure the width of your quilt with a measuring tape. Mount a small coat rack or 5 to 6 individual wall hooks on your wall that span the width of your quilt. Use a pencil to mark where each hook lines up with the back of your quilt. Fold 3 and 7.6 cm sections of cotton twill tape in half to make loops and pin them on the back of your quilt. Use the loops to attach your quilt to the hooks on your wall. You can also hand sew the cotton twill tape onto the back of your quilt for a more permanent solution. A quilt made with bright colors is a great eye-catching display for the living room or den. Use binder clips to attach your quilt to the wall for an easy project. Measure the width of your quilt and mark each end on your wall. Put 5 to 6 push pins into your wall spaced about 5 inches 13 cm apart and hang binder clips off of them. Secure your quilt in the binder clips and let it drape down your wall. Small quilts look great centered over a fireplace or credenza. Purchase a quilt hanger for a mounted display. Drill 4 holes into your wall and attach anchors into each one. Attach your quilt hanger to the wall with 4 screws. Slide or clip the quilt into the hanger and let it hang freely on your wall. You can find quilt hangers at most fabric or craft supply stores, and they usually come with their own mounting hardware. Frame your quilt with canvas stretching bars for a classy presentation. Lay your quilt front side down on a flat surface and place a canvas on top of it. Fold the corners of the quilt inward so they cover the back of the canvas and add staples about 2 inches 5.1 cm apart to secure the quilt to the canvas. Cut away any excess quilt fabric and hang your canvas on a wall hook. You can also sew a backing piece on the back of your canvas to make it look more polished. This is a great idea for a quilt with a nature scene on it. Attach twine to your wall for small, lightweight quilts. Measure the width of your quilt and mark the length on your wall with a pencil. Poke 2 push pins into the wall at each end of your quilt length and tie a length of twine to each one. Hang 5 to 6 clothespins on the twine and attach your quilt to the clothespins. You can also use a length of fishing wire for a more subtle display. This is a great addition to any room with rustic decor. Adding quilts to your decor. Hang multiple quilts on a quilt rack for an easy display. Quilt racks are stands that are made specifically for hanging quilts or blankets. They are usually about 3 feet 0.91 m tall and 2 feet 61 cm wide. Place one of these in your living room or bedroom to have a convenient storage and display area. You can find quilt racks at most fabric supply stores. Quilt racks are great if you have a lot of quilts you'd like to display. Lean a ladder against the wall for a rustic look. Find a small wooden ladder and dust it off thoroughly so that it doesn't get your quilts dirty. Lean the ladder against a wall in your living room and drape a quilt over each rung for a cute display piece. You can find rustic-looking ladders at most thrift stores. Stack quilts on a bookshelf to use decor you already have. Fold your quilts neatly so that they stack on top of each other. Place them into the empty shelves on your bookshelf for a subtle display. Add some knickknacks or decorations around them to bring your entire shelf together. If your quilts are small, you can roll them up and stand them like bookends. Stretch your quilts on your bed as a runner for usability. Fold your quilt in half lengthwise so that it looks long and skinny. Spread it out at the foot of your bed and use it when the weather gets chilly. Choose a quilt that best matches your bedroom decor for a seamless look. This is a great decoration for a guest bedroom. Drape your quilts on the backs of your chairs to display them for guests. Fold your quilt neatly in half and drape it over the back of a wooden chair without letting it touch the ground. Tell your guests to use them if they get chilly so they can admire your handiwork. If you have a covered porch, you can also put your quilts out on the furniture outside. If your quilt is especially large, drape it over the back of a couch instead. Stack your quilts on a chair and keep it in the corner on display. If you have a small chair that no one ever uses, fold up your quilts into squares and stack them on the chair. Place it in the corner of a room for a display that's out of the way. Let your guests know that they can use the quilts if they need to. You can find a small wooden chair to use at most thrift stores if you don't have one already. Use your quilt as a headboard if it is large enough. Attach a curtain rod above your bed at headboard height. Fold a large quilt in half and drape one end on either side of the curtain rod. Make sure the sides hang evenly so that your quilt stays on the rod. Rotate out your quilts when you want a new look.